A very good evening to everyone present here and welcome back to Cricket Analysis by CNE. This is day two of the second test match between England and India. And today, as compared to the last day, will be a very cool-headed day. Yesterday was a very hot-headed day where a lot of arguments were there, a lot of criticisms were there. But today will be full of praise, and especially when one of our specialists are not present today. We have only one present here today, and he is the one and only Proneet Ghatak. Good evening, Ghatak. Are you missing Vedant Charan today?
I am missing Vedant a lot today. I actually liked agreeing with him a lot after a long time.
I I saw the comment yesterday by someone who the person who's watching this video must be seeing this. Quite
Yes.
funny. And yes, of course, Proneet doesn't usually agree with Vedant, or Vedant doesn't usually agree with Proneet, vice versa. But yesterday was quite different. But today is a very cool-headed day where a lot of praise will be there for the Indian management and the players, I guess. That's why maybe Vedant is not there because he's supporting England and he's sad. But let's move on to the proceedings of the day. We have a lot on our plate, but a lot of things to talk about. So, the one and only the session segment that I have beautifully created. This time it's an agreement, I believe, Proneet, where the
Yes.
session start looks good. Or do you feel like 209 runs is a bit more?
It is
200.
it is a lot less on a flat track with one huge wicket. So I think it was England's day all out. I think England were dominating the whole
Ah,
day.
right. Oh, definitely. And especially when you can see in the first session, there's 209 runs instead of 109 runs. There must
Exactly.
be a lot of runs. A small blooper in the whole thing, maybe a bit of a typo error by some of our presentation managers. But continuing, this is a complete day for India, and India are at a huge advantage here after batting so well and then putting England under humongous pressure by getting three early wickets that have put them in the driving seat for now. And to the moving day, they'll have their tail up. So, Tony, do you feel like everything went right for India today? Everything, like in every department, did everything get ticked?
Perfect. Perfect. Today was a complete complete domination from India today. Uh, whatever you feel like should have gone right, it went right. In the first test, it did not, but in the second test, it did. So I'm very happy with the performance. Overall, the team has done very well today.
Vedant would have disagreed with you here. He would have found some kind of criticism or the other for the whole thing. But I feel like it was a whole all-round performance as well. It was very well played by India throughout the day, from getting from 211 from 5 to 587 all out, a mammoth total. Unbelievable stuff. And then rocking England early is a huge advantage for India at start. We'll go by it by session, but we'll talk about England's woes, and that picture really depicts the whole day for England. I mean, they were sleeping all day on the field. It feels like, and this was one of the clips of the boundaries hit by Gill today, and this caused a collision between Joe Root and Zach Crawley, and hence the picture. Quite interesting picture with a good brothership around, and they're having a good hug around the outfield. They felt like, yeah, long day at the office. You want to have someone
Let's
to
take
hug it
some
out, right?
rest.
Let's take some rest. They are tired feet, and especially Zach Crawley will have a good rest tomorrow because he got out early today. So Joe Root will have to do a lot of the work. But continuing, Shubman Gill, a mammoth 269. And I have some records to tell you. First of all, this is the highest runs by an Indian in in England specifically. In England, this is the highest runs by an Indian. This is also the highest runs by an Indian Test captain, as of course in England conditions, surpassing our own goat Virat Kohli, who scored 254 at home. But how do you rate this innings, Proneet? Is this up there in one of the top tier performances of Indian history?
This batting performance is right up there. I agree 100%. I think this batting was, in Test cricket, it is about patience and also about getting the runs at the right time. So Gill's batting overall in this match was so perfect that whenever the opponent was bowling well, whenever there was something for the bowlers, he respected the bowlers. He did not
Mhm.
try to overhit or try to scrap more runs. So he respected the bowlers, and whenever he thought that he could accelerate, he accelerated. Especially a bit of selflessness in him. We saw that he accelerated first in his 80s and 90s, and then later in his 180s and 190s. So that is
Mhm.
something really brave from him. So this performances overall, the short selections, the patience, the temperament overall is top notch, top notch.
Yeah, and it's in when you see a mammoth score by a player, suppose around 180 plus or suppose 200 plus, you sometimes see in the highlights that there were opportunities given by them at times, but they have not been taken by opponents. But in this innings, Shubman Gill has not given a single opportunity besides the last ball that he got out in. So it speaks a lot about how he played, how confident he was with his shots, and how solid he was in his defense. I mean, it was he started quite slowly, as I've mentioned yesterday, that it was quite it was not his usual game when he started with his innings where he scored 30 odd in 86 balls. But then, as you said, he went to his 80s of around 200 deliveries, and then he accelerated and he didn't stop. It was admirable from him. And what I like about Gill the most is that he knows the match situation very well. He reads the match situation and he bats according to the situations. That's why he was being able to form a partnership with every person, almost every person he was with till the last wicket, of course. So I feel like the Jadeja partnership he had the Sundar partnership he had. I feel like it was Ati Sundar,
Yes,
to pun
100%,
intended.
100%.
But we have
The
other
control percentage was really
yeah,
high.
yeah, yeah.
90%,
Ex-
95% control, I think he had.
Amazing, amazing. And with that, we also have some memes to show. Kevin Peterson is always up there in tweets, and he's very he's showing off a bit where he's saying that I am right. I'm absolutely correct that Shubman Gill is a big star and will do a lot of good for Indian cricket in the future, and he has done a lot of good already. 269 and Kevin Peterson talking about his past tweets. Uh, Amazing stuff. And Proneet,
Kevin
I
loves
have
to talk about his tweets from the past. Previously, it was
and
KL Rahul during the
uh,
IPL, and now he's
yeah,
trying to take the credit for talking about Shubman Gill from the past.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Peterson has all right to do so. I mean, he credited it earlier, so why not flaunt it? But I have to
Yes.
show one picture here, Proneet, which is the bottom right corner picture. What do you think? Is it some kind of resemblance you can see here with Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli?
Honestly, as a Virat Kohli fan, I am loving the resemblance in the picture. And Shubman Gill's batting, captaincy attitude, I'm loving everything. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with him. I hope he breaks the records that Virat has made. I will be very happy for both Shubman Gill and for Indian cricket.
Mhm. And another picture here suggests that that Shubman Gill is not an Ahmedabad bully anymore. I will score everywhere now. I'm not going to get centuries only in Ahmedabad. I'm going to get centuries at Edgbaston and at Headingley. Wow. I have put this slide in because he deserves the appreciation. And it's a one of a kind innings. It could have gone to a 300. I was really hoping for a 300. I have never
Yes.
seen a 300 live. I have seen Karun Nair in highlights, but I've never seen Karun Nair get a 300 live. This was the first match I was watching live where I thought that Shubman Gill could have gotten a 300, but unfortunately that couldn't be so. But other than that, you can't take away what he did. And what he did in this innings is a resemblance of how the Indian team has improved as well from the last match. If you see, when Shubman Gill also scored 100 in the first match, he couldn't convert it to a big daddy 100. This time he
Yes.
did. And he said that I'm not going to let the tail handle this one. I'm going to handle this one. And he
Yes.
handled it from the start to the middle order and till the tail. So this was an all-on improvement performance by Shubman Gill, and much praise to him. It is absolutely match defining, this one, and it's even more match defining talking about how England are at this stage. Well, we move on to Ravindra Jadeja and how he is the he always performs. I have seen an Instagram reel again. He is the last branch of a tree that I
Yes,
saw.
it was my story.
Oh, acha, हाँ. It was the last branch of a tree where the tree suggests that he was one of the veteran players of the sides, and he is
Yes.
the old reliable batsman. I think Jadeja in the recent decade is one of the most improved batsmen in cricket history. I feel
Yes.
like, because from an average of 20 to 25 to being almost a tail ender, he has become a strong middle order batsman. And when India were at trouble at 211 for 5, he took responsibility along with Shubman Gill, of course, but he took responsibility and took India to comfortable waters before he went after a brilliant 89. He could have gotten 100, but again, like Jaiswal, he couldn't convert it too big. But Shubman Gill ensured that he was
Yeah.
controlling the whole scenario. But how do you rate this innings of Jadeja, Proneet? Do you feel like it's again up there as one of the great supporting innings of Jadeja after what happened to when 2 wickets fell at a very fast pace?
Yes, 100%. Being 211 for 5, and if you did not have any support, and let's- just imagine if Jadeja got out and then Shubman Gill out of pressure got out and the tail got exposed, we would have been all out by something 250 or 300. So that would have put us in a very bad position in the game. So from that position to coming to finishing the day at 587, so that is some incredible batting. Jadeja's innings, before this match, Jadeja was being criticized for his batting a lot because he hasn't performed much with his bat in the past few series. So, questioning Jadeja is probably the last things you should do right now. Because whenever you need him, he performs. He always performs with the bat, with the ball, he's always there. So one
Mhm.
of the greatest supporting innings, I feel Jadeja was a bit, robbed of his 100 because of the pitch, I feel, because a sudden extra bounce happened and he got
Yeah,
gloved off. So that is something unlucky for him. He deserved 100, 100%. Because even the last time India played at Edgbaston, he got 100 there.
nice for 100.
So Jadeja loves Edgbaston, I guess.
Yeah. And I feel like the wicket that the Jadeja got out in, Karun Nair will come in the dressing room and just put a hand on his shoulder saying, I've been there, done that. I have gotten out in a similar delivery. And it's
Yeah.
also good news for, I think, India, and especially I feel Prasidh Krishna, because if there's some extra bounce in the wicket and the batsmen are not being able to handle it well, Prasidh Krishna, being a hit the deck bowler, can exploit these conditions, especially when the ball gets a bit old, where the ball isn't doing much. So it's good signs for India after posting a mammoth total of 587. England decided to bowl first for one reason that I said in the preview only, that you should bowl first because on day two it becomes a complete flat track. That's why England thought that if we bowl India out at around day one, because we can, of course, then come around
Yes.
on day two to bat, we can do well. But India didn't let them bat at all towards the whole day two. England did bat, but they batted at the worst possible time, the last hour of the day when you have fielded for 151 overs, and then you come and then openers are thinking, "Oh my God, I have to bat again
Yes.
with this sore feet," and that paid a huge dividend for India because that costed 3 wickets. We'll move on to the next topic and talk about the tail. Proneet, what do you think? How do you rate the tail this innings? Do you feel like they did well this time around?
Yes, I really wanted to talk about this. The difference between the first match and this match has been the performances from the middle order and the tail. Because if you look at the middle order and if you look at the batsmen that did not, rather, I think I should start from the top. Yes, first of all, it was Shubman Gill who was looking good. He got his 100. He took the responsibility, played maturely, and converted his 100 to a 200
Mhm.
plus 250 plus mammoth score. Second, it was the batsmen who got some starts, but they did not throw away their wicket. They played responsibility. They played responsibly. They got their starts. They built partnerships. Those 50, 100 partnerships in the middle, those were important. You talk about the 87 from Yashasvi Jaiswal from the start, giving a boost. Then the 31 from Karun Nair. Then later the Jadeja Shubman Gill partnership. Then Washington Sundar's gritty 42 of 108. That was really
Mhm.
important. after Nitish Reddy got out cheaply, Jadeja and Washington Sundar really compromised that. So I praise this performance a lot. And the tail scored some 20 to 25 odd runs. That can be really important. Last time the tail scored 5 runs in the last match. This time it's 20-25. So this is really good performance from India. And I think the most important part of this was how Gill handled the captaincy in this match. He gave a statement that we will play like this, we will play maturely, we will learn from our mistakes. We will learn from our
Mhm.
mistakes. We will not commit the same mistakes that we did in the last match. So that statement really boosted the environment in the dressing room. So the players got motivated themselves. The tail, DSP Siraj, we talk about him. So he,
And
he,
I
he
don't
was
think, I don't
fired up.
think, I don't think, I don't think Siraj is a tail batsman. I
Now,
feel like
I,
he's a
I
top
think
order batsman.
he's rather a
I,
opener, top order batsman.
yeah, he's an
His
opener. The
aura is
defense he
different.
played, I was watching his every defense and it was crisp. It was crisp.
Yes,
And at the end,
100%.
he gave his wicket. And at the end, he gave his wicket, thinking that no, I'm not interested in this bowling lineup anymore. It's too easy for me. I'm just going to have a
I,
bowl
I
and going to
want to
take
I want to
wickets.
bowl the batsman out now.
Yeah. I'm not interested in this. So he just walked out of his crease and just went along with his bat
Yes,
and say
exactly.
that I'm going to bowl you out. So Siraj is
Exactly.
definitely not the tail, and that's why the tail got 25 runs, because a top order batter like Siraj is there. So that's one of the reasons why. But also talking about all seriousness, talking about Washington Sundar, I feel like he
Yes.
scored 42 runs, which in comparison looks smaller than suppose an 89 or a 269. But
Yes.
I think Washington Sundar at start was peppered with short balls, and it's quite tough to play short balls at start. But
Yes.
after that, when he let Gill accelerate and he anchored his place where he didn't play rash shots and took opportunity of loose balls, I feel like Washington Sundar is a complete middle order batsman, and he can be up the order a lot as well. And especially, I think he can replace the position of Jadeja when, suppose, in the future when he retires, he can be a big future prospect for India, because he's a very good batsman who
Talking
is
about
playing against.
future, yes,
Mhm.
talking about future, I think if Washington Sundar improves his bowling, then he can be a perfect replacement for Ravichandran and Ashwin. Or rather, I think if his batting makes him better than Ashwin, if he improves his bowling a lot, so he
Mhm.
can be a big asset for India in the future.
Yeah, and I feel like he could be like a three down, four down batsman. He's that kind
Yes,
of a batsman,
definitely,
like
definitely.
closer to Akshay Patel, who's surprisingly out of the squad for a long time. But
Yeah.
that's another topic. But
Yeah.
Washington Sundar is a great pick, and he literally showed today why he was a great
Yes.
pick in the 11, and why you wanted him in the 11 as well. We all wanted him, but you placed it perfectly in the 11, where he batted and he didn't let the tail be very shallow. Then, what do you think England could have done better? To be honest, give me a honest opinion, Proneet. What do you think England could have done better?
I think the only thing England could have done better was that they could have used Vokes and Stokes more. You have mentioned this a lot. I really
Hmm.
want your opinion on this as well. That the lack of use of Stokes and Vokes, they bowled about 24 overs. Ben Stokes bowled 19 overs only. After the first session, he did not bowl at all. So I don't know, giving Brook or Bashir. Bashir was getting bashed. Literally, he was getting bashed. He scored unbeaten 162. So
Oh,
that is
167. I've
167. Yes.
raise your bat, please. Shoaib Bashir, raise
So
your bat.
another
Come
daddy
on.
100 today. So
The
yeah,
Daddy 100 today.
giving the ball to Tongue a lot. Tongue, we know that Josh Tongue lacks consistency. Meanwhile, Stokes and Vokes especially, he had a good day with the ball yesterday. So why not give him more?
Hmm.
So I also want you to say on this.
Yeah, to be the devil's advocate here, I feel like maybe Smokes got tired a bit, or he got some kind of problem. That's why he couldn't bowl, because he was the best bowler of the whole innings, even after not bowling much today as well. He was the best bowler of the entire innings, and he bowled disciplined lengths. Maybe Ben Stokes also is coming back after a long period of time. He hadn't played test cricket for a long period of time. So having played two tests, I feel like bowling more than 20 overs is still a workload problem. We talk about so much of workload with Bumrah, but Ben Stokes and Chris Wokes are human beings as well. So
Yes.
I think there might the only reason why Vokes and Stokes didn't bowl maybe is just because of the workload issue. Maybe they bowled too many overs and the Indians were bashing them around. That's why Harry Brook bowled 5 overs and Joe Root bowled 5 overs as well. But
Yes.
if that's not the case, I have no idea why they didn't bowl. I really wanted them to bowl, even though of course I'm supporting India. But if I want them to bowl just because I want to see some competition, and especially with
Yes.
Chris Vokes being a huge big competitor. He's an experienced campaigner, and the way he bowls, he can change matches. And especially when partnerships are growing, you want your best bowler to bowl. So why Ben Stokes didn't give him more overs, I don't know. But at the same time, it was a complete flat deck, like we expected in day two, where nothing was happening in the deck. And how Bashir is also an inexperienced, inconsistent bowler, and I can't say much for Harry Brook. Harry Brook is not a proper bowler. I feel like if we give Shubman Gill some balls to bowl, I feel like that's the same impact he will get as well. But but other than that, I feel like
Shubman
that's
can
the
bowl better, I think.
yeah. Who knows? I have seen some videos with him and Abhishek Nair bowling some good off spinners. So maybe he could have been a better bowler, but I think that's the only explanation. If Chris Woods hadn't
Yes.
bowled too much, it's workload. Other than that, no idea. But continuing to the scorecard, India have been bowled out for 587, and they didn't look like they were in trouble at all, except the tail a bit, where you can see the delightful innings of Mohammad Siraj playing 23 balls in a crisp 8 runs. And you can see that in the tail, they survived for around 20 deliveries in average, because
Yes.
which shows that they were showing some intent and they were not intending to get out at start. Of course, they got out eventually, but they showed some intent and they survived for some time. So helping with Shubman Gill's cause as well. But then when Shubman Gill got out, Siraj and Krishna added some runs to the wicket. So maybe who knows, if India don't bowl well, these 10-15 runs can matter a lot. So we'll see about how much these runs matter after the second innings of England. But I feel like good contribution from all of them. And unfortunately, Nitish Kumar Reddy got out cheaply at one, and Rahul couldn't score much as well. They feel like they have missed out. But other than that, the spotlight of the entire innings, Shubman Gill, 269. I think this will be remembered for a long period of time. Scoring 269 at an Edgbaston wicket after and being an Indian, a visiting captain, and scoring these many runs in front of the home team gives a statement showing that I'm the captain and I show responsibility. So
Yes.
very nice from Shubman Gill. Now we'll talk about Joe Root a bit. I have brought this segment myself because I feel like this shows some sign for India. Joe Root's only wicket was Washington Sundar himself, where he bowled an absolute Jaffa, an absolute ripper, where he got the ball to turn from the leg stump and take away the off stump. And Washington Sundar himself was quite confused. He played for the straight ball and it turned. So this could be a big factor for India. I feel like even though Washington Sundar lost his wicket, I feel like Washington Sundar can be happy later on, because if
Yeah.
there is some turn early
Mixed
on,
feelings at
Proneet,
that point.
yeah. If there is some turn early on, I feel like Jadeja and Washington Sundar can play a huge factor with the old ball, because then the ball is gripping. The ball definitely gripped, and for some moments as well, Shoaib Bashir also gripped the ball, but he lacked
Yes.
consistency. Quality bowlers like Jadeja and Sundar can bowl consistently and in good lengths, being from their respective states, and Jadeja being a campaigner. This match will go on to day five, so this can be a big thing for India. So that's why I put this segment in. But other than that, let's go on to uh, India's the bowling scout of
Yeah.
bowling
Agni,
scorecard.
I just got
Mhm.
lost due to connection a bit. That I just
Uh-huh.
wanted to say that the Joe Root's delivery,
Mhm.
we know that Joe Root is an established bowler a bit, because he's a really good bowler, I feel, because
Mhm.
he has performed well before as well. He has got two fifers. So
He's a
I raise a
part-time
question.
spinner. I mean, mhm.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So I raise a question. I raise a question that why put Harry Brook for 5 overs when he could have put Joe Root for 10 overs? So I don't
Uh,
understand that. So that is something out of my
at,
mind.
at one point, Joe Root and Harry Brook were bowling in tandem. So they're
Yeah,
batting
that is diabolical. That is just diabolical.
and they're batting right now. They are unscathed, going to stumps, and at one point they were bowling together. It some questionable decisions. I feel, but at the other
Also,
end, England.
yeah,
Uh,
continue.
at the end of the day, I feel like England bowled 151 overs. If you think about that, 151 overs.
It's a lot.
Uh,
It's a lot.
yeah. I mean, for athletes to be there the whole day and be at their level best, it's concerning. So first, I think batters have to bowl when there is a 587 run big mammoth total. I feel like if suppose England also had those runs, I feel like all bowlers won't be able to bowl well. I think Shubman Gill will have to bowl some overs. So it would be like that. But see, at the end of the day, it did look a bit silly when Harry Brook was bowling those complete harmless deliveries where Gill was just putting it away for so fun. So I mean,
I think the decision was right here that bringing in Washi and Jadeja, two quality spinners. I would say the special thing about Washi that I like is that his his control, and his
hmm,
maintaining of line and length. He would continuously bowl at the same line continuously for overs and overs and
exactly
overs.
the point.
That is the
Hmm.
best thing about him. That is what will help India a lot, I feel.
And exactly the point is where a flat pitch is in question. You need consistency. Be it a
Yes.
pacer, be it a spinner. You need to bowl at consistent lengths. Then only you can cause a mistake with batsmen, and especially when there is a baseball in play, where the batsmen are usually impatient and they want to score runs and they don't leave the ball off often. You have some opportunities to bring. And India till now exactly did that. And I hope that Washington Sundar and Jadeja continue doing that, continue applying pressure and continue bowling consistent lines to stop England from having a good run rate. So it's a big point, and Washington Sundar can play a huge factor in the fourth innings and this innings as well. So, for a lot
Yes.
of things to talk about, but before I go on, my eye always catches this three of 167. The three of 167. Imagine you come out of the day and you're saying that, dude, I just got bat for 167 runs. It's like it's as good as batting and showing a 167 run scorecard. He got 3 wickets. He got some
Almost an
salvation.
ODI equivalent number of overs.
Yeah. I feel like in the 1980s, 1990s, I feel like that would have been a very decent total. 167 and on almost 50 overs, I feel like that could have been a decent total. But yeah, I
Yes.
mean, Bashir didn't have a good day, and especially bowling 45 overs, it's not easy. And Josh Tongue didn't as well. He 30 overs and he got hit for 119. So not a good day for the English bowlers. And today they'll be very tired and putting their shoes up on the hanger, saying that I'm not going to come out again in the next, hopefully the next day, the whole day. India will be aiming to get them all out as soon as possible and then bat again to the English bowlers' misery. But yeah, I think the English bowlers are done, don't you think?
Yes,
You feel
I
like after
completely
fielding for
agree.
2 days,
Completely agree. And
after fielding for 2 days,
I actually feel bad for bowlers like Vokes and Cars. They really
uh,
bowled well. They are the only two bowlers that have been bowling good for England consistently. Even we saw
yeah,
Stokes bowling loose deliveries. But Cars and
yes,
Vokes, they were on point. So I feel bad for them. Others
mm,
really lost the momentum from they did
yeah,
not have any momentum, I feel. The others did
yeah.
not have any momentum.
Yeah, pretty sorry looking scorecard for England, and we'll see it to be even more sorry when you see Akash Deep and Mohammad Siraj steaming in with delightful deliveries. The one thing that impressed me most about both these bowlers were that they completely bowled on the same line day in and day
Yes,
out. Like for the
yes,
first 14 overs, they didn't change the line at all. They bowled to the
yes.
plan, and whenever they got hit for boundaries, they got hit near the fielders. So that means that the plan is going well. And especially when they have almost 600 runs in the bank, you don't mind getting hit for some fours. And you know that there's going to be some amount of runs in the wicket. But to create opportunities in a flat track, that it's not seeming as
Yes.
much. The wickets you see, it wasn't too harmful a delivery. It wasn't a complete Jaffa, but the consistent lines they bowled in that showed that you can create those mistakes. And Siraj and Akashdeep created those mistakes around in fifth, sixth
Yes.
stump when they edged the ball. Tony, do you feel like this is another improvement point of India where it's not too dependent on Jasprit Bumrah to take wickets now?
Huge improvement for India. I feel after the second innings of the first Test match, Siraj, we saw how he bowled so well in the second innings of the first Test match. So I think
Hmm.
he has gained his momentum after a long time coming back in Test cricket. So he has gained his momentum. He is all ready to go. He will bowl Jaffers, I feel, tomorrow,
Hmm.
because today, even on a flat track, he was getting great amount of swing, and with his wobble seam also, he was making the ball top. It was treat to the eyes to watch Akash Deep. The two wickets that he got. The first one of Ben Duckett, we know his speciality of bringing the ball in for the left-handers. That is the main reason why he was brought in, because of the left-handers in the English squad. And the second ball, the immediate next ball, the ball nipping away from Oli Pope. The
Yeah.
first ball coming in for the left-hander, the next ball going out for the right-hander from over the wicket. So
Hmm.
great performance from Akash Deep, I feel, because replacing Jasprit Bumrah, so it is a huge
It's
weight on your
big shoes to
shoulders.
fill. Big
Big,
shoes to fill,
huge, not big, huge shoes to fill. So I feel good signs for India. Pace bowling is performing good. Only if Prasidh Krishna maintains his line and length tomorrow, India will have a good day. India will have a really good day with the ball. And the spinners, of course, will get a lot of purchase. And only if God gives less chances to Brook. He has been a real
Oh
problem with
my
luck.
God, a very lucky child. I feel like Harry Brook is. And
Real.
but talking about Pacers, if you see Akashdeep performing, I feel very sorry for Prasidh Krishna that he looks like he's going to get dropped the next match.
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't feel I don't feel Prasidh Krishna is going to be played next match after the performance we can see from Akashdeep, and especially if India starts strong tomorrow, amazing. So Prasidh Krishna needs to step up his game as well and bowl very
I would
well
like to say just
to back
one
up
thing,
these two bowlers. Uh,
that in this management, you won't get more than two matches. So if you don't perform well in two matches, you won't get back.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
continue
but
now.
no, but the thing is that if next match Jasprit Bumrah is coming, Prasidh Krishna has to go. I mean, you can't replace now Akash Deep after seeing what kind of performance he has done already. It's, of course, the whole match is still left, so then
Yes.
overall assessment cannot be done right now. But I feel like when Jasprit Bumrah will be back next match, you can't really. I mean, Prasidh
There
Krishna
needs to
doesn't
be
doesn't have
made
a lot of.
a sad decision, I feel. A sad decision.
Yeah, yeah. But if Prasidh Krishna does well today as well, I feel like he needs to bow out of the next test match. So it's going to be an only test for Prasidh Krishna, but I feel like he makes a huge statement saying that I can be a good backup placer for India, and he improves a lot. In the 3 overs he has
Yes.
bowled, I feel like he has bowled good lengths as well. He was consistent, as we can see. We go to the bowling lineup. Before going to the bowling lineup, I can see two ducks. Two ducks. I'm so happy seeing two ducks.
So happy, so happy. Very happy.
When you're trailing by 580 runs and then you see two ducks, you feel like
Ah,
India is really on top. And then you can
yes.
see some repair work done by Joe Root and Harry Brook. But two ducks, really, and especially the whole top order scoring 19 on a 580 run trail, big thing for India, and
Huge, huge,
uh,
huge.
huge, huge day for India. And this last session may be shared, but India will have the tail up completely. Then
Of
we'll go to the
course.
bowling lineup. As we see, Prasidh Krishna usually goes for around 5 runs and over, but he also maintained his line and length, and he has not been hit for much. And he has also bowled some good deliveries as well, and I hope that he continues as well. Akashdeep and Siraj have bowled very well today, and India will hope that they come out tomorrow with the same line and length and bowl with the same fire as well, because that's needed on flat wickets. Because once you don't have the momentum, things will go away very fast, and especially with
Yes.
baseball playing, things can go very fast. And especially I look at
Yes.
NK Reddy as well. NK Reddy has bowled just a 1 over. I feel like he'll just play filler roles in this test match. But when the filler roles come, he needs to contain those runs as
I
well.
feel I
I don't
feel
think he's
NK
going.
Reddy will be a player to watch out for tomorrow. When there are those dry spells, not getting wickets, I feel NK Reddy
Hmm.
will be important in those times.
Yeah, hopefully he can be those like those golden arm bowlers where he breaks partnerships if they are
Yes,
created. And
exactly.
I feel like you can half expect partnerships to be created because it's a complete flat deck at the end of the day. It's still a very flat deck to be playing with. So England will have some partnerships, but to break those, I feel like Nitish Kumar Reddy plays a role as well. And as well as Jadeja and perhaps tomorrow's Washington Sundar will have a lot of things to talk about in
Yes.
the in the middle part of the day where the ball is getting a bit old and it's a bit flat. So at the end of the day, it's England trailing by a mammoth 510 runs, and they England need to have a very good day tomorrow to come even near to this total. And especially they need to have a good morning session because that really makes a statement of how the day will go, as we can see in the last 3 days as well, how it went, last 2 days as well, how it went. So before we end things here for today, I want to talk about the Harry Brook challenge. Harry Brook is at 30 right now, but as we can see, he poses a dangerous challenge because he scores runs at a fair clip and also stays at strike, as you can see, because he's lucky, but he's still there. So this partnership between the number one batter in the world and the number two batter in the world might be crucial, Proneet. What do you think? We feel like this partnership should be the backbone of the innings and India should attack this as much as possible.
I feel the only way to tackle Harry Brook is just bowl normal balls outside the off stump, or rather in
Hmm.
line, that just maintain the consistency and discipline. He will get out because we know that he does not have a solid defense or good defense, or also he does not leave the balls. He can't leave the balls. His play style is not like that. Him being the number two test batter is a bit surprising for me. I don't think he's the player of that type, but still he has reached there. Not
59
taking
average
away
at the end of
anything
the day,
from
you
him,
know.
but
Hmm.
still I don't think so. He will be much of a challenge if we bowl consistently and in a more disciplined way and don't drop catches.
Yeah, and when he can get away with runs, if you want to bowl well to him in the first spell tomorrow. So it's a very important first spell to him tomorrow when the Indian
Yes,
bowlers come out with full steam ahead because it's very important to get Harry Brook early or else he will make you pay. And also we have Joe Root as well. Joe Root, it's not nothing much to talk about him. When he bats all day long. So you need to when you have your plans, you need to be very consistent with them. And I feel like the plan that India had towards Joe Root was the pad length, where he bowled to
yes,
the pad
exactly.
and the mid wicket. Then and there were two mid wickets. That means that Joe Root tends to get the ball to the air when he flicks, so that can be a big play for Joe Root as well. And of course, around fifth, sixth stump, where he has that kind of habit to edge. So at the end of the day, very interesting to see what will happen tomorrow. So
Yes.
wrapping it up, Proneet, predictions for day three. What do you think will happen in day three?
I feel at the end of day three, India will be batting again.
India will be batting again. So around 200 plus lead, you feel like a mammoth lead,
I
putting England
agree.
under huge
I
pressure.
feel it is going to be a yes 200 to around 200. The lead will be there. I feel.
All right. So you guys have the present prediction from our expert panelist, Proneet, where he says that India will have a big lead of 200 if they bowl well tomorrow. And I
Yes,
feel like the morning session will
it's a lot of
dictate,
wishful thinking as well.
as Vedan likes to say, wishful thinking. But at the end of the day, we'll also be back to the moving day, the preview of the moving day tomorrow. So do be sure to join us to the moving day and also follow our Instagram page for some more fun content and video updates. Till then, it's bye bye and good night from us. Good night, Proneet.
But